Hello everyone and welcome to NWR TV. I'm John Reardon, and joining me today for our first deep dive of what could be many into The Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening is Neil Ronahan.
Hey, this probably won't be as long-reaching as the couple we did for Breath of the Wild over the course of like 6 years.
I think we did three.
But they were in three different years, I'm pretty sure.
Yes. Well, this is doing a deep dive into a Zelda game is like a very nostalgic experience, because that was actually like one of the first videos that I did with another staff member when I joined.
Aww. So
it's very nostalgic to do these videos.
Yeah, and I think it's nostalgic to have one of these videos be about a thing that, when I read Nintendo's press release, made me feel ancient when they said that Link's Awakening was 25 years old. More than that, actually, because this game came out in... crap, I should have had this on hand. I think it's 93? 94?
So unprofessional.
That sounds right. Link's Awakening... hold on one second. Link's Awakening came out in 1993. So yeah, it's almost 26 years since this game debuted, and now Nintendo's remaking it. It's, at least for 2D Zeldas, they haven't really fully remade them. I mean, you could argue A Link Between Worlds is basically a remake of Link to the Past in a way, but
I'd say it's a sequel.
Yeah, I mean, it uses the same map, so like I could hear the argument that there are remake-like elements of that game, and I think that some of the detriment of that game is that it's a little too slavish to Link to the Past. Although I love A Link Between Worlds, but this is also seemingly the first main Zelda adventure that the 2D team has done since A Link Between Worlds. Because I believe some of that team worked on Triforce Heroes, but now they're working on Link's Awakening, which looks absolutely gorgeous. It's the first time we're seeing a 2D Zelda on a console since Four Swords Adventures, or a home console.
Yep. Yeah.
And
Four Swords Adventures was a good-looking game.
Yeah. For what it was, but this is, I mean, it does seem to be very visually inspired by A Link Between Worlds, seemingly with an art style and possibly an engine inspired by it. Yeah. But it's very much its own beast.
Yeah, and we talked a little bit during the, I think it was during the actual Nintendo News Report show, about the art style, because I remember when the actual direct was happening, there was a lot of negativity toward the art style in the comments. But the more I watch this, the more I absolutely love the way it looks.
Because there's a toy-like quality. I think you said it kind of looked like Nintendo Land, and I agree with that, and I think it fits Link's Awakening, it being this kind of weird offshoot of the Zelda series that doesn't... it's a dreamlike game, so it makes sense to have this kind of toy, dreamlike art style to it. And like Link has little beady black eyes, like it's a really weird look for Link. And we don't see a ton of other characters, but they don't look to have eyes like Link does.
Yeah, it's weird. At first glance, I almost just thought it was his Breath of the Wild design, but it's not.
Yeah. I mean, he looks like kind of the Link to the Past era, which is what Link's Awakening is inspired by, depending on where you fit with your timelines. But regardless, this chronologically in America and the world, Link's Awakening was the Zelda game that came out after A Link to the Past. So that kind of design influenced it. What I like seeing is that they have the weirdness of the Chain Chomp character, Bow Wow, as well as the Goombas. They just look like they got ripped out of New Super Mario Brothers and were just dropped into Zelda. And I love that.
Which is fitting, because, they were already ripped out of whatever current Mario game. Like Mario 3 or something would have been like the sprites for him.
Yeah, I guess, I don't know if any of these things would have been in Mario Land 2. I did to refresh my memory, it's been a while since I played through Link's Awakening. I played it when it came out on 3DS Virtual Console in, I think, 2012, around then. But we do have, so we have Bow Wow, the Chain Chomp, which we see in this footage. We also see the Goombas. Thwomps show up in this game. There is a Piranha Plant. There are masked mimics that basically just look like Shy Guys. There's also an enemy that I never knew was called this, but it is called Anti-Kirby. And it's basically just this evil Kirby who sucks you up. Did not kind of put two and two together when I played this game. But like, I want to see what all those characters look like. There's also Mamu, who's just the Wart sprite. I wonder how they're going to translate that. Are we going to see Wart in 3D? I hope we do. I hope Zelda beats Mario to the punch in bringing Wart back.
Would that make Wart more canon to Zelda than it would to Mario?
I mean, probably.
Because then he would have been in Zelda twice with the game and the remake, so...
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, in order for Wart to come back, someone needs to remember that Wart exists. And I don't think that's happened in a long time.
Well, I mean, theoretically, they'll have to stumble across him at some point when they're making this game.
Yeah. Yeah, like there was a thought about what to do about Wart.
Right. Yeah, somewhere, someone considered Wart, and we can all take comfort in that. I hope so. I was gonna say this trailer opens with this very Ghibli-esque anime opening, and there are a few other cutscenes throughout Link's Awakening where the camera would kind of cut away. I hope they all look like this.
Yeah.
Because this looks amazing.
I hope we see this animation throughout the game. Like, it's like, show me a movie like this, please. Mm-hmm. Just make every Zelda game look like that animation. It's stunning. And it does kind of look like the manga from the era that Link's Awakening came out. I think, was there a Link's Awakening manga? I'm not sure off the top of my head. Okay, yeah.
I'm like 90% sure.
Alright, we will be corrected if we're wrong, but it does look like the art from that, and like I love that the title card of, you know, Link asleep on the board of the ship in front of the island, like, it just looks gorgeous, and I hope we do have a couple moments like that throughout the game. But I'm totally fine with that art style that they have on Koholint Island.
Yeah, I mean, I will, in defense of the people who aren't a big fan of the art style, there is a big jump between, you know, intro cinematic Link and then, you know, this Link and then this Link.
Yeah.
I get where that might be jarring to people. He almost looks like a Charlie Brown character.
He really does. Like, I said the bad word when I said he looks very vaguely Funko Pop-ish, but or even a Tsum Tsum, which is on brand because Disney Tsum Tsum game is coming to Switch in 2019. It was part of the Direct as well. Maybe Link will make a guest appearance in that. That'd be fun. But we don't.
Humanoid Tsum Tsums are a terrifying thing. I don't know how familiar you are with Tsum Tsums, but they're terrifying when they're humans.
I'm not. Maybe I'll look into this. But
yeah, invest in the Tsum Tsum market, Neil.
No. Unless my kid gets into it, who knows? But anyway, Link's Awakening. We don't really see a whole hell of a lot here. It really is like a very. It's a vibrant vertical slice because it is sequences like, I mean, just seeing the Chain Chomp in that early area, like that is, you know, a place that you go to a lot throughout the course of that game.
You do get to see some, like, the iconic areas.
Yeah, you get to see staple enemies. You get to see the bird statues, which. So in A Link Between Worlds, they kind of use them as fast travel points, whereas in this, I had to remind myself that they give you hints, but sometimes the hints might not mean anything, which is just like perfect way to beat Link's Awakening. I would imagine that they might be used as fast travel points in this game, I would think.
Similar to Link Between Worlds.
Yeah, like it seems like that, if they're going for that iconography, and it's the same people who made A Link Between Worlds, you would think maybe they'd use the same iconography from that past game into this new remake. You also have the Owl, who is simply named Owl, and I mean, he's important to the story. He looks nice. He's gonna help Link out on his travels across Koholint Island, trying to wake the Windfish, as you do.
This guy right here is
I like his big
terrifying.
Nose. Yeah.
He's something that's that's got to be the weirdest part about making these games where they have to convert to 3D is looking at some sprite and being like, I think in 3D it would look like this.
Yeah. Like if they ever do a full-on
this guy
Link to the Past remake, like Aghanim. Oh God, one of those names I never had to say out loud when I was a kid. Aghanim. But like
Aghanim.
But he's one of those things where, like,
I think
depending
it's
on how you
Aghanim because it's like agony.
Yeah, maybe.
I think it's a pun.
But he's one of those guys where, depending on how you look at him, he's completely different. So having to translate that to 3D, I can't imagine being that much fun. But we do. I mean, we got a good look at the game.
Yeah.
I want to see more of it. I want to know what they're going to do with this world, because they could just do a straight remake and clean up some of the rough edges. You know, the original game came out on a system that had an A button, a B button, a D-pad, and start and select. So you had limited options. And one of the things that was most frustrating to me, especially playing this game a couple years ago, was how to change items, you'd have to go back to the menu so many times. And there's a lot of points where, like, that just becomes such a burden. Because it's even with that, it's like the shield is one of your 2 items, and like you have to go between that at all times, which I would think from this game that it would be a lot clearer. Also, notice there's no UI in any of these images.
That's true. It could just be off for the sake of the trailer, but you're right.
Yeah, like I think it's probably a choice just to focus on the art in the trailer. But even still, like, I would imagine that, like, there will probably be elements of this game that will be cleaned up from the Game Boy game, because, you know, you're going to have a lot more buttons. There's going to be a lot more that you can do with this game. I hope they don't complicate it too much, because I don't think it really needs to be complicated that much. I think you just need to smooth out the stuff, like inventory swapping. I do love Rock's Feather. Like, just it's just a cool effect. It does kind of make me sad that this won't be on the 3DS, though, because that was some of the corny stuff there.
Yeah.
Was really fun in A Link Between Worlds.
Look at his emotionless, determined face.
Yeah.
As he leaps over this.
This Link's just all about trying to wake up that windfish and doing somersaults. He's doing somersaults.
Like clay.
Yeah.
There's a kind of clayish vibe. All right. Well, not a whole lot more to glean from this very early look.
I think we've talked about this game far more than Nintendo did.
Yes.
When do you think this is going to come out?
So they just said 2019. I don't think this is like the holiday game. But I could see this being, let's see. They normally have like an October game, right?
Yeah.
I could see this being that. Maybe a November game, but I think they'll go with something bigger than this for holiday, I think. If this were an original 2D Zelda, then I'd say their big holiday game for sure. But since it is a remake, I don't think so.
I'm trying to think of what they've done with remakes recently. I mean, most of them have been early in the year, but if this is, I would kind of assume that with the fact that this A Link Between Worlds team has probably had a good while to work on this game, that it's probably on track. If they say 2019 now, I feel very confident about this coming out in 2019. I'd say September or October.
Which is a weird thing to say about Zelda games.
Yeah. Well, I don't think... I mean, A Link Between Worlds, I think, was announced in April and came out in November, so...
Yeah.
Triforce Heroes, I think, was announced at E3 and out a couple months later. So Link's Awakening, I think September or October sounds good. It kind of depends on where some of the other big players in Nintendo's holiday season wind up. Like, I think Pokemon's probably definitely November. Like, Animal Crossing. If Animal Crossing is September, then I think this game will be October. If Animal Crossing is October or November, this game will probably be September. That's what I'll say.
It'll fit. It'll be... So, it's their fall game.
Yeah. One of their fall games.
Yes. One of their... I mean, it'll be a big...
Yeah.
This will do well.
It is a big 2D Zelda. 2D Zelda's a big deal.
Especially 2D Zelda coming back to a home console. It's the first HD 2D Zelda.
Yeah. This game's immediately jumping to be one of my most anticipated, and I hope it's an interesting remake. I hope they add to the game, because I think that yeah, the core experience is fantastic in the original, but I like seeing new stuff. And that'd be cool if they added some new stuff.
Yeah, I wonder if they'll have the... Remember in the Link's Awakening Deluxe, they had like
Was it like the Chris Houlihan room?
Yeah. Well, there's that, but then like the extra dungeon that was all based on color.
Dungeon. Yeah.
Yeah. So I wonder if we'll get all the deluxe content.
So.
They should have called this Link's Awakening Deluxe Deluxe or New Link's Awakening Deluxe. That would have been. They're missing out on the title.
Yeah, Link's Reawakening. I saw people talk about. That'd be fun. All right, well, I think that's all we got.
That's about it. That is it for this. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like. Leave some comments on what you think of this remake. Do you like the art style? Do you hate the art style? Do you just like Zelda and you don't really care how his eyes are drawn? Let us know. Subscribe to the channel. Head over to NintendoWorldReport.com for a whole lot more. And if you want to chat with us, head over to our Discord. There's a link in the description. Finally, if you want to support the channel, you can check us out on Discord, or on Patreon at patreon.com/NWR. And I think that's it. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.